Hello everyone, welcome back to another Anatomy and Physiology live stream. Happy Memorial Day. I hope you all are doing well. We'll get started here in just a second. We're going to do some Anatomy and Physiology 1 for the HESI and TEAS. I have about 60 practice questions here for us today. We're starting here in just a moment. Hello everybody, welcome in, welcome. How's everyone doing? Welcome. We'll be back live streaming every day from now on, now that the summer semester is starting up for everybody here. Welcome in everybody, welcome. We'll start here in just a second. I would appreciate if you guys gave the live stream a like. It'll just get it out to more people so we can help as many people as possible on their upcoming HESI and TEAS and their Anatomy and Physiology 1. Tomorrow will be Anatomy and Physiology 2, and then every single replay of the live stream will be available on YouTube. It's linked in my bio. Awesome. We'll start with number 1. Which term describes the body's ability to maintain a stable internal condition? Let me get my red pen. Just like Lana Del Rey has her red dress, I have my red pen. But hello, welcome in everybody. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. Been tutoring A&P for about 5 years now. Working on question number 1, which term describes the body's ability to maintain stable internal conditions? I will be going live every single day covering anatomy and physiology topics that you guys request. Today's A&P 1, tomorrow will be A&P 2. Round number 1, which term describes the body's ability to maintain a stable internal condition? The answer here is homeostasis. So homeostasis refers to the process of maintaining a stable internal environment. Basically, whenever you have changes externally or internally, you have what's called negative and positive feedback loops. Negative is just going to act in the opposite direction, and then positive acts in the same direction. This would be like sweating. And this would be like labor contractions for oxytocin. Your body produces oxytocin for labor contractions, and it produces more to increase them. Let's put via oxytocin. Moving on to number 2, which directional term means toward the front of the body? Toward the front of the body. Hello everybody, welcome in. Good morning everybody, or good afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. Welcome in, my name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I'll be going live every single day covering anatomy and physiology topics that you guys request. We typically do A&P 1 on Mondays, A&P 2 on Tuesdays, and then we do other topics as well, like we do pharmacology here as well. Pretty much anything that you guys do request. I do upload these to YouTube afterwards as well, and I'll be posting anatomy and physiology videos on TikTok as well. I do video requests via my email or DM. I'm more than happy to make them for you, especially in time for the summer semester. I know a lot of people have that coming up. I'd appreciate if you guys gave the live stream a like. It just gets it out to more people. I appreciate all of the... I got an A in AP2. Your lives definitely help. Thanks. Awesome, Kiz. Good to see you again. I'm glad you got an A in AP2. Congratulations. That's awesome. If we could get a congratulations in chat for Kiz, that'd be awesome. So the answer is C. It is ventral. So ventral means toward the front of the body. It also means interior. Dorsal would mean toward the back. This would also be posterior. So posterior means toward the back, dorsal means toward the back. They're interchangeable terms. Superior means toward the head or upper part. So it would be superior to. The opposite of superior would be inferior. Number 3, which of the following is the correct order of structural organization in the body? What is the correct order? And hello everybody, welcome in if you're just joining. Hello. Do any videos on epithelial tissues? I do, yes. I'm working on one now. Superior, like Superman, huh? Yeah, that's definitely a good way to think of it. Awesome. Welcome in everybody. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology. Pretty much any topics that you guys request as well. These all get uploaded to YouTube afterwards. And then I also have all my notes linked in my bio as well. Everything is linked in my bio. But number 3, The answer is B. So we go from the correct order of structural organization. So going from smallest to largest, we start with an atom. This is our smallest unit. And then organism is our human body as a whole. So when you have a group of atoms, those make up cells. And then when you have a group of cells, that make up tissue. And then when you have a group of tissues, those make up organs. And then these can turn into organ systems. And then those organ systems all make up the human body as a whole. Alrighty, moving on to number 4. The study of tissues is called what? The study of tissues is called... Fantastic. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology, and I post here on TikTok as well. Thanks for participating and being here. I appreciate you guys being here. I love doing these live streams. Hi, Ollie. Hi, how you doing? The answer is B. It is histology. Histology is the study of tissues. Physiology is the study of function. Cytology is the study of cells. Pathology is the study of diseases. Alrighty, let's move on. So number 5, a coronal or frontal plane divides the body into what? Divides the body into what? I do lives every day. What time? Typically around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes it changes, like today we're doing it at 12 p.m. But it'll be every day. I better crush the TEAS next time. You definitely will crush the TEAS. Can I please make YouTube videos? Yeah, I will. I've actually been working on some. I've posted some already, but I do upload these replays to YouTube as well. But I'll be making YouTube videos this summer. I'm going to have a lecture series on anatomy and physiology rolling out soon. I have exam coming up. I'm scared. No, don't worry. Don't worry about it. You got it. Just keep consistent. Keep confident. Consistency is really key when it comes to anatomy and physiology. Number 5, the answer is C. There's the anterior and posterior portions. So the way that I always thought about a coronal or so frontal is pretty easy. It's obviously the front, but sometimes it's interchangeable with coronal. The way that I always think of it is kind of sounds like a crown. And if you were to crown somebody, you would be facing their front when you put the crown on their head. Number 6, which organelle is responsible for producing ATP and all the cellular respiration processes? Some people have a lot of anatomy and physiology on there, some people don't, but it's part of the science section. You need to know anatomy and physiology pretty deeply anyway for nursing or just any healthcare profession. So this is a great review for more than just this as well. Fantastic. It is C. It is a mitochondrion. So the mitochondria produces ATP. Ribosomes are going to produce proteins. The Golgi apparatus is going to package and process proteins. And the endoplasmic reticulum is going to synthesize proteins and some lipids, but does not produce ATP. All right. Moving on to number 7, the plasma membrane is primarily composed of what? And hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you all being here. Thanks so much. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology too. I know a lot of you have summer sessions coming up that are 5 weeks, 8 weeks. Some of them are the whole summer. I will be here making content every day to make sure that there is enough for all of you. I know summer anatomy and physiology is definitely rough, so I appreciate you all being here, but welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day. I'll be posting the replays to YouTube. It's linked in my bio. Sorry, MP1 June 2nd, summer session. Should I start crying? No, definitely don't start crying. Definitely don't start crying. You don't need to cry. Crash outs are valid, though. Crash outs are valid. But welcome, everybody. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you guys so much. And it's a 5-week course. Is it even possible? Yeah, no, it's definitely possible. Absolutely. I'm an A&P professor and will definitely send your page to my students. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I said merch. I meant much. Number 7, the plasma membrane is primarily composed of B. It would be phospholipids and proteins. Phospholipids and proteins. So the membrane it consists of a phospholipid bilayer, which means there are bilayer, meaning there are 2 layers. So it kind of looks something like this, where you have hydrophilic, meaning water-loving, and hydrophobic tails that are on the inside here, hydrophilic, water-loving, and hydrophobic tails that are on the inside here, hydrophilic, and then that regulate the transport. And then proteins and DNA, that's more so inside the nucleus, at least for DNA. Carbohydrates and lipids, those are present, but they're not the primary components. And then RNA is not part of the plasma membrane. Number 8, which phase of mitosis involves chromosomes lining up along the cell's equator? Or we can say their middle. Please post these on YouTube. Yep, the everything that I do on TikTok live. Hey, do I go live every day? Yes, I do. It'll be around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes that changes, but that's pretty consistent about what time it is. Yep, they'll be on YouTube. I'll post replays of this on YouTube, and then I also will be posting other videos as well. I'm starting a lecture series for anatomy and physiology on there as well. I've recorded the first video for it. Yep, these are saved to YouTube. The link to that is in my bio, but my YouTube name is it's only Herzig. And then I do have private tutoring. Yeah, send me an email. My email is linked in my bio. Number 8, which phase of mitosis involves chromosomes lining up along the cell's equator? That'd be B. It would be metaphase. B, metaphase. So in metaphase, the chromosomes line at the equator, the middle. Prophase involves chromosome condensation. Anaphase is where they are pulled apart. And telophase is where the nuclei reform. All right. Moving on to number 9. Passive transport requires what? Passive transport requires what? Good teacher, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. But yep, we'll be making content here for anatomy and physiology. Please send me requests for videos you want to see. I know a lot of people have 4-week, 5-week, 8-week summer courses coming up. They're doable. They are possible. A lot of people ask me if it is possible. It is absolutely possible. But it's definitely going to be fast-paced. So I definitely want to get out as much content as possible. I do have some videos on YouTube already of previous live streams. If you want to go back and watch those. Take my TEAS in 2 days. Good luck. The answer to number 9 is D. It is no energy input. They require no energy input. So passive transport moves substances down their concentration gradient, meaning that you can do that without energy. ATP, that is required for active transport, moving against the concentration gradient. Mitochondria produce ATP, but they're not necessarily required for passive transport. Carrier proteins can be involved, but energy is not required. The key thing with passive transport is energy is not going to be required, and it's moving down the concentration gradient. And when you move down the concentration gradient, you don't need energy. Number 10, which of the following is not a function of the nucleus? Which of the following is not a function of the nucleus? I have the 2nd generation 12.9-inch iPad. These questions can be found on YouTube afterwards. I do have this particular practice test isn't up, but I do have other ones on my website. Start my RN September, prereqs for the first 8 months. Awesome, good luck. Oh my god, school was taunting me my summer break. I know, right? Number 10, the answer is D. It is to break down waste. It does not break down waste. This is the role of lysosomes. So for A, B, and C, these are all functions. The nucleus does direct protein synthesis, it does house DNA, and it does produce ribosomal RNA. So rRNA. Number 11, osmosis refers to the movement of Number 11, osmosis refers to the movement of what? I'll give you guys just a moment to answer. The answer is C. So water moves from a low to high solute concentration. So water moves across a semi-permeable membrane toward a higher solute concentration. So water is high to low. I'm sorry, low to high. My bad. Low to high. Solute moves from high to low. That's what I meant. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking ahead. Where can I find your study guides? They're linked in my TikTok bio here. So they're linked in my TikTok bio. That's where you can find them. I have every study guide for anatomy and physiology, and I have a HESI and TEAS anatomy and physiology study guide coming out. Practice test for not a particular exact certified surgical tech one, but definitely send me an email and I can get one together to do. Yeah, I've used Quizlet before, yeah. Number 12, which organelle packages and ships proteins? The answer is C. It is Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus, as we talked about before, it modifies, it sorts, it packages proteins. Ribosomes are going to synthesize the proteins. So synthesize. Lysosomes, we just kind of talked about up here. That is responsible for digesting cellular waste, and the nucleus makes the ribosomes. Number 13, which cellular structure is involved in protein synthesis? Number 13, the answer is B, ribosome. As we just talked about, ribosomes, what they do is they read mRNA to make proteins. What was the problem here with... So the nucleus directs protein synthesis mainly through rRNA. They vary by price. I'd go check on the website. How can I prepare in advance? What's the issue here with this? So I guess I can explain number 11 again. I guess there's some confusion. So for number 11, in terms of osmosis, osmosis is the passive movement across a semi-permeable membrane. So a membrane that lets water through, but not solutes, toward a region with higher solute concentration. So water moves from a low concentration of solutes to an area of high concentration of solutes. This is because water is essentially moving to dilute an area with more solute, reaching equilibrium. So water moves from an area of fewer solutes, so more water, to an area of more solutes, so less water. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. I know someone was mentioning they were Googling it, but this is coming straight from a medical textbook, so. Number 14, which term refers to the programmed cell death? Which term refers to the programmed cell death? The answer is B. It is apoptosis. Awesome. So apoptosis is controlled cell death. Autolysis, this is self-digestion. This is often uncontrolled. Controlling means it's more so like sort of like programmed into your genes in a way. Necrosis is uncontrolled. This is pathological death. Lysis refers to cell bursting. Number 15, which of the following structures contains digestive enzymes? Starting AMP1, June 2nd, how do I recommend I prepare in advance? So I actually just made a video on that on my TikTok profile. I would go take a look at that. But mainly what you really want to do is focus on the medical terminology, kind of an overview of the systems, what organs are there, what's their function. But I have a video on that. Definitely go check that out for a little bit more of a detailed explanation of it. But essentially, preparing in advance, really just learn your medical terminology and anatomical terms. That'll definitely set you up for a success as well. It'll just like kind of keep you organized, and you won't have to stop like mid-lecture and go, oh, what does that word mean? What does this do? Which of the following contains digestive enzymes? The answer is D. It is lysosome. As we talked about, lysosomes digest cellular debris. And most digestion occurs because of digestion enzymes. Golgi apparatus is going to package proteins. Ribosomes synthesize proteins. The nucleolus, this makes ribosomes. Moving on. Number 16, epithelial tissue functions primarily in what? I'm sorry, I'm already stopping mid-lecture. No, that's all right. Yeah, you definitely want to put, I always watch or, kind of read the lectures beforehand, especially. Just because I don't really like lecture to be kind of a new. I like it to be a review. That way I can pay attention more to what the professor is saying during class. But 16, the answer is C. It is protection and secretion. So epithelial tissue mainly functions in protecting surfaces. It secretes substances. In terms of conduction, that would be nervous system. Tissue support is mainly connective. And movement is muscle. Number 17, which type of muscle tissue is involuntary and striated? This word means banded. But also, welcome everybody. I would appreciate if you guys gave the live stream a like. It just gets it out to more people. That way we can help as many people on their HESI and TEAS upcoming exams and their upcoming summer semesters for anatomy and physiology as well. I'll be posting all these replays to YouTube as well. Thank you guys for the gifts. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. It's a few videos back. It'll just say how to prepare for the semester. If you send me a DM, I can find it afterwards. I can't look at my profile while I'm live streaming, so I don't exactly know how many videos, but it's pretty recent. Number 17, which type of muscle tissue is involuntary and striated, meaning banded? The answer is B. It is cardiac. So let's think of why cardiac tissue might be involuntary and traded. So cardiac muscle tissue is going to be responsible for beating your heart. If you think about it, you don't have to think about beating your heart. That's why that muscle is involuntary. Banded means it's basically going to have some sort of rhythm. Which, think about it, your heart has a heart rate. That is your rhythm, in a sense, and that obviously can change. But banded means that it'll give it a rhythmic contraction, and involuntary meaning that it is unconscious. You don't have to think about doing it. Skeletal is voluntary. That's like if I were like writing right now, I'm using skeletal muscle to write on my tablet. That is also striated as a sense of also having rhythm. Smooth is involuntary and it's not striated, and visceral is not a muscle tissue. 18, what is the main function of connective tissue? What is the main function of connective tissue? Thanks for the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. I'll be going live every single day, covering anatomy and physiology, pretty much what you guys request. We do other topics as well, like pharmacology and stuff. But number 18, what is the main function of connective tissue? What is the main function of connective tissue? Of connective. So the answer is D. It is support and protection. So connective tissue supports and protects organs. Contraction would be muscle tissue. Communication, this is going to be nervous. And then epithelial tissue has secretions. I'll be here every single day. Awesome, I can't wait to see you here. Yeah, but I know what time. They're usually at 1 p.m. Today we started at 12, but typically they're around 1 p.m. But they should all be around 1 p.m. The rest of the week. Just got a 92 and AMP1. Awesome, congratulations, loading. Thanks for the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you guys. And then I will be posting every single live stream to YouTube as well. It's linked in my bio. But number 19, what tissue type lines the respiratory tract and contains cilia? What tissue type lines the respiratory tract and contains cilia? And if you guys have any requests for videos or for live streams, definitely feel free to comment them in my videos. They kind of go away after the live stream, so doing them in here doesn't always work the best. Definitely on my videos or sending me an email or DM. More than happy to try to incorporate it into a live stream. And then, yeah, summer semester is coming up. This week, some started last week, some start in like a week, but they're 4 week, 5 week, 8 weeks, some are the full summer, but I definitely will be making content all summer. That way you guys have a lot of stuff here to look back on and help you out. Number 19, the answer is C. It is pseudostratified columnar tissue. So pseudostratified columnar tissue lines the respiratory tract and it has cilia. Stratified squamous, that's going to be for protection and it's not ciliated. Simple cuboidal, this is more so for secretion and absorption. And transitional is going to be like in our bladder, so like our urinary tract. But the respiratory tract, it has cilia for facilitating movement of mucus. Moving on, number 20, which connective tissue connects muscles to bones? I'm writing on patho, not currently, but I am making some stuff on patho. Thank you guys for all the likes and sharing the live stream. I really appreciate it, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. Number 20, which connective tissue connects muscle to bones? The answer is C. It is tendons. Tendons connect muscle to bone. Ligaments are bone to bone. Cartilage, this is going to cushion our joints. And then adipose is going to store fat. Number 21, what type of tissue is blood classified as? What type of tissue is blood classified as? Pharmacology, I don't have anything posted, but I am making pharmacology content, and we do pharmacology live streams every Friday. It's like Pharmacology Friday, so we do that as well. But yes, if you're new here and you don't really know what we do here, we post anatomy and physiology videos. I do post other requests as well, like biomechanics. We do biochem, a little bit of pathology, a little bit of pharmacology. I do live stream every single day on anatomy and physiology. Mostly Monday is AMP1, Tuesday AMP2. The other days of the week are kind of by request, like what's kind of popular in that sense. And then pharmacology is on Fridays for Pharm Friday. It's typically around 1 p.m. All my live streams are typically around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That does change, but for the most part, that is the time. But 21, the answer is B. It is connective tissue. Blood is considered connective tissue because it connects our body system, the systems within our body, and it also transports nutrients, wastes, gases, and things like that. So blood is connective in that sense. Connects our body with our blood, oxygen, carbon dioxide, all the following there. Number 22, which of the following is a characteristic of nervous tissue? Which of the following is a characteristic of nervous tissue? Thank you guys so much for all the follows. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for giving the live stream a like and sharing it as well. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the gifts as well during the live stream too. You guys are incredible. These are always so fun to do. I love doing these live streams. The answer is C. It is to conduct electrical impulses. So nervous tissue transmits electrical signals. In terms of extracellular matrix, there is very little extracellular matrix. Contraction is muscular tissue, and then it does insulate, but it also conducts electrical impulses. Number 23, what protein gives skin its strength and waterproofing? So this is the reason why it rains and you don't melt. I do have worksheets for math as well. I don't have any worksheets right now. Send me like an email or a DM. I can definitely start working on some, especially. It depends on what type of math. I'm about to start anatomy online course this summer with lab and exams in person. Any advice? Definitely go to all your labs, for sure. They're important. In terms of anatomy being online, you got to really keep up. Be consistent. Don't miss any lectures online. Do I do psychology? I have done psychology in the past. Yes, I have. There are a few live streams on YouTube for it. Flashcards for what things are. Practice, especially when it comes to labs, like practice labeling. Practice. Number 23 is B. It is keratin. So keratin strengthens skin and provides waterproofing. So this comes from our keratinocytes. Basically, this is the reason why if I were to drop some water on my skin, my hand would not disintegrate. 24, which layer of the skin contains blood vessels? But when it comes to anatomy, again, some more advice on that per se is definitely practice explaining things. If you can explain things out loud, you understand it. It's probably my best advice, really. Practice. I've done online classes before. You got to really stay consistent because it's you don't really have anyone to tell you really directional wise where things come from and what to do. Nursing school, this is very helpful. Awesome, I'm glad. Thank you. I need help for TEAS. I took it once in the past. I'm so scared to take it again. Honestly, I think whenever you take it once, you have an idea of what you struggled with and know what to focus on next. So I definitely, if anything, I would be more confident, for sure. Definitely try to reverse think that a little bit. You now have the experience to take that exam. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. The answer to number 24 is B. It is dermis. The dermis contains blood vessels. The epidermis is avascular. The stratum corneum, that's the outermost epidermis layer, and the hypodermis contains mostly fat. There's some vessels but that would mean more so primarily under it. Most of the blood vessels and the exchange that occurs is in the dermis. Number 25, the pigment that is responsible for skin color is what? Is it true that the TEAS changes every month? It doesn't necessarily change, but there are multiple versions of the test. Basically, that just prevents cheating. Because a lot of people, when they're there, unfortunately, they'll take pictures and stuff and share them. So it's the questions here, they're similar to they are not the exact ones. I'm not, I don't really do that. I don't promote that in any way. Cheating is definitely not like what you want to do. But it is updated every couple of years, not monthly. If you're worried about the math portion, definitely practice math. That's like really the best way. Like practice makes perfect when it comes to math. Number 25, the answer is C. It is melanin. Melanin gives skin its color. Hemoglobin does contribute to redness, but not a main pigment. Keratin, this is like this very yellow. It can cause your skin to be a little yellow. And then keratin was that structural protein that we just talked about in one of the previous questions. And these cells are melanocytes. Number 26, which gland produces sweat? Which gland produces sweat? But yeah, when it comes to math, definitely practice problems. That's definitely like my biggest recommendation. I don't really recommend watching too much. These are not the actual questions. That'd be cheating if they were the actual questions. So they're review questions. These are review. Nursing major here. Awesome, welcome. I'm in my first anatomy class this summer, and everything is so fast tracked. I'm straight. Yeah, I know it is. Summer classes are so fast tracked. It's like an overtime job for sure. Number 26. Which gland produces sweat? The answer is C. Sudoriferous. Sebaceous are going to produce sebum or oil. Endocrine, these secrete our hormones. Pituitary is a hormone gland. Sudoriferous glands produce sweat. Number 27, the thickest skin is found on where? But when it comes to math problems, I know especially people like watching videos on math, but think of it from this perspective, especially when it comes to someone who's really experienced. You can watch practice problems just to learn how to do something. But after that, it's like you got to practice it on your own, because if you think about it, it's in the same sense as you watching someone who's done it so many times in the past. If you're watching a power lifter lift like 500 pounds, and you watch them do it, and then you think that you can go do it based on that, that's not going to happen. Just because you watch someone else do it doesn't mean you can do it. In a sense, for you to get here, you have to practice and lift, and it takes time. So most remembering all the muscles for an exam coming up. The best way to do that, I'll actually make some videos on remembering the muscles, but the biggest thing to do is to break them down section by section. Number 27, the thickest skin is found in C. It is the palms and soles of the skin. So they have thick skin, mainly for protection. The eyelids, very thin skin. Scalp, that's kind of, normal, same with abdomen skin. But these are all thinner. These are thicker. Again, you're touching a lot. They have a lot of, you touch a lot of things. This is for your protection. Your feet steps on things. If you're stepping on something sharp or hot, you want to have protection. 28, the skin plays a role in what? Let me make sure. If I miss any questions, please feel free to repeat them as well. Sometimes I start writing on my screen and I miss, so definitely feel free. Is it advisable to do anatomy during the summer? The way that I see it is if anatomy is the only thing that you're going to do, so you can just focus on it and you don't have any other distractions, yes. If you're taking anatomy with a bunch of other courses, I just think it's too fast-paced to do with other courses at the same time. Do I have anything like this to purchase to study? I do have practice tests on my website. I do have all my anatomy and physiology notes and study guides on my website. They're all linked in my TikTok bio. This is more so for review for the HESI and TEAS exam. Number 28, the answer is A. It is vitamin D synthesis. So the skin synthesizes vitamin D when it is exposed to UV rays. So it's important to get your sun. 29, which of the following is a function of the skeletal system? Which of the following is a function of the skeletal system? But we're reviewing for the HESI and TEAS, specifically A&P1. Tomorrow will be A&P2. Wednesday is going to be skeletal system and joints. I have my bundle of A&P1 and A&P2. So there's an A&P1 and A&P2. I've heard that exam before. It's an entrance exam for mostly nursing students, but it's an entrance exam for other things as well, like some radiology programs want it. But at the end of the day, this is just great review for A&P as well. Like, all this stuff is going to be for any program, undergrad, med school, pharmacology, pharmacy school. Anatomy is anatomy. It just depends on the depth. 29, which of the following is a function of the skeletal system? The answer is C. It supports the body's structure. The skeletal system provides structural support. In terms of producing enzymes, that's more so cellular level in the digestive system. When in terms of filtering blood, that's urinary function in the kidneys. Nutrient transport, that'd be circulatory system. Moving on to number 30. The shaft of the long bone is called the what? The shaft of the long bone is called the what? I want to relearn physiology. I'm going for perfusion. Oh my goodness, yeah, perfusion is awesome. Same with learning physiology. That's awesome that you want to relearn it. Definitely a good place to do it as well. We have a lot of physiology practice questions here. Number 30, the answer is C. It's the aphysis. The epiphysis, that is going to be the end of it's going to be the bone end. So if we have this is my crappy drawing of a bone. This is the shaft here. The epiphysis is going to be the ends. The metaphysis, that's like kind of the neck region. So the neck region. Periosteum is the outer covering. 31, osteocytes are located in small spaces called what? Small spaces called what? I appreciate all the follows, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Remember, I am going to be going live pretty much every day, covering anatomy and physiology, some pharmacology, basically whatever you guys are requesting. So in high school, but this is so much fun. Awesome, thank you. I'm glad you're having fun. Thanks. I have so much fun when I do these live streams with you guys. They are so much fun. But 31, osteocytes are located in small spaces. These are referred to as the lacunae. Osteocytes, which are mature bone cells, they reside in these lacunae, which are they're like tiny cavities within the bone matrix. Essentially, the purpose of them is to protect osteocytes, but at the same time, it still allows them to communicate via the caniculi. So basically, it protects plus allows communication. There we go. All right, makes sense. Perfect. 32, what type of bone is found at the ends of long bones? At the ends, the epiphyses. Kind of like yeah, in a way, yes. It's more so they're kind of like little tiny like cavities. Thank you, Virgil, for the gifts. Thank you guys so much for the gifts. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. This is helpful. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate all the likes. We just hit 11K likes on the live stream today. That's awesome. I appreciate all the likes and you guys sharing and following. Answer is B. It is spongy bone. We have the epiphyses. They contain spongy bone. It's a little bit lighter, and it contains our red marrow. The compact bone, that's in the shaft of the diaphysis. The regular bone, that's a bone shape classification, which would be your vertebrae. Flat bone is also a bone classification. Flat bones are like the ones that are in your skull. Number 33, the primary mineral stored in bones is what? Thank you for deepening understanding. Yeah, no, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. End of bone is where ossification happens. So in a way, yes, it really occurs at the end of long bones, specifically at the epiphyseal plate, which is your growth plate. The answer is calcium. It is C, calcium. Calcium phosphate is like the main mineral. Basically, this is going to give the bone its hardness and its strength. Iron is more so for blood. Potassium is an electrolyte. Magnesium, this is present in bone, but it's not the main one. So yes, it is present, but not the main one. Number 34, which bone forms the forehead? Which bone forms the forehead? Thank you for the follows, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Welcome in. If you're just joining us, welcome. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I've been tutoring anatomy and physiology for about 5 years now, and I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology, and we do post the replays to YouTube. Afterwards, it's linked in my bio, and then all my study guides and notes when I was in anatomy and physiology are also linked in my bio as well. We'll be posting A&P videos on my page here. We're posting more than just the replays on YouTube as well. We're working on some videos. And then we'd also do more than just A&P as well. We do pharmacology and other stuff that you guys do request. But, what's the YouTube channel? It's linked in my bio, but it's Ollie Hertzeg. You can look it up. But again, you can find it by going to the link in my bio. 34, which bone forms the forehead? The answer is D. It is the frontal bone. The frontal bone forms the forehead and a little bit of the upper part of the eye sockets. The parietal bone, this is the side and the top of the skull. The temporal bone, these are on the sides near your ear. Occipital is the back of the skull. All right. Number 35, the vertebral column contains how many cervical vertebrae? Microbiology is pretty challenging. It's very process-based memorization. I would say you could probably handle it if you've done anatomy and physiology. Can we review reproductive system? Yeah, so we'll have some reproductive system questions tomorrow in the AMP2 live. When's your final? But we'll have some reproductive ones tomorrow. And then I also have some already posted on YouTube, I believe. Finals Wednesday. Okay, gotcha. Yep, we'll be doing some reproductive review tomorrow. Should be at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so the vertebral column contains how many cervical vertebrae? answer is 7. The way that I always kind of remember this, so cervical is the first one. So you eat breakfast at 7 a.m., lunch at noon, and dinner at 5. So there are 7 cervical, 12 thoracic, and then 5 lumbar. Then you also have 5 sacral, which are fused, and then coccygeal, those are 3 to 5. Usually 4, but those are also fused. The sacral forms the sacrum, and the coccygeal, that's like your tailbone. So 5 p.m. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's how you kind of remember the cervical, how many are in the cervical, thoracic, and lumbar. So 7 a.m. is when you have breakfast, cervical. Lunch, you have around noon, 12, thoracic. Dinner, 5 p.m., 5 lumbar. Number 36, the kneecap is also known as... And if I miss any questions, please repeat them. I sometimes write on my screen and I miss some. Do I have any review questions for the 1ST exam? Whatever 1ST exam is, send me an email about that. HESI Series 2, came across your videos and subscribe to your channel. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Yeah, we'll do a HESI Series 2. Yeah, absolutely. I've been working on that as well. Made a 98 in my microbiology. Can't believe it was challenging. That's awesome, Brittany. Congratulations. This is more so for like lower undergraduate A&P. This isn't as too in depth. This is more so for like HESI TEAS, like entrance exam stuff. So it's more like lower end undergrad of college. It's a great amount. Thank you. I appreciate it. But back to the question here real quick. 36. The answer is B. It is the patella. Sorry, people keep trying to invite me to co-host live streams, but I don't do that. Give me 1 sec. I have to turn off that real quick. Turn off. So the kneecap is also known as the patella. This is also known as the sesamoid bone. Basically, this protects your knee joint. Your femur is your thigh bone. Tibia is your shin bone. And fibula, that's a smaller bone of the lower leg. So you have your tibia and your fibula. Now the way it works is like if you have your tibia, this would be your fibula in a way. I don't have a diagram here right now, but that's kind of where it would be. And then your femur, so femur, tibia, fibula, and then your patella. But that's just kind of like my little crappy diagram, but that's a good way to draw it out in a way if you want to remember. Number 37, which part of the bone contains the red bone marrow? Red bone marrow. I need this to pass my paramedic national registry. Awesome, yeah. Yeah, some people use these for like paramedics as well. I mean, this is going to be good anatomy and physiology review for HESI TEAS. Whether you're going to be a nursing student, going into paramedic, EMT, dental hygiene, radiology, and overall TEAS prep. Yep. This practice exam, I made it myself from a textbook. All my textbooks are linked in my bio. I do have TEAS reviews for anatomy and physiology. Everything is in my bio. My YouTube, you can go back on my YouTube and see what I've done before. I've done a lot of things, so it would take way too long to list what I've done, so it's easier to go through. This practice exam, this specific one is not up yet. I do have other ones on there, but this one is not up yet. I do tutor, yeah. I would send me an email. My email is in my bio as well. But if there are enough requests, I will put this one up from today on my website. Number 37, which part of the bone contains red bone marrow? The answer is C. It is the spongy bone. So red marrow produces our blood cells, is found in the spaces of the spongy bone. Epiphyseal plate, that's our growth plate, that's cartilage, so not marrow. The medullary cavity contains yellow marrow, which is our fat. The periosteum, that's the outer connective tissue that covers the bone. 38, what structure connects bone to bone? What structure connects bone to bone? Thank you, this is really helpful. Awesome, yeah, no, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys being here. I love doing these live streams. I'll be doing them every day, covering anatomy, like more anatomy and physiology, and some other stuff that gets requested. Mostly, like anything that has to do with any sort of like medical education, STEM stuff as well. What am I going over the math section for the HESI? Unsure yet. I'm mostly focused on like more science-based questions. The links to the practice questions are on my website. They're linked in my bio. This one in particular, again, is not up. I should be putting it up later today or tomorrow. So I put how you can find the direct link. I put on YouTube. So I upload all these live streams to YouTube, and then in the description of the video, I always put a link to the practice test, because that's just a little bit easier as opposed to me sending it to everybody individually. That would just take way too long, and I don't have time to do all that. So it'll be in the description of the video that I post on YouTube either later today or tomorrow morning, and that's where you can get access to it. Uh, 38, what structure connects bone to bone? The answer is ligament. So our ligaments connect bones at our joints. They provide stability. Again, tendons connect muscle to bone. Fascia is that like the connective tissue that surrounds muscles. Cartilage is connective tissue at the joints and not necessarily a connector. But 39, a freely movable joint is called what? But in terms of like the math and stuff, we'll definitely, I don't know, we probably won't do a live stream on it, but I will definitely be posting I'll definitely get some posted videos for it. Definitely send me a DM or an email about it, and we can work on that together. I'm in an accelerated course, and it's stressing me out. I have an exam due tomorrow for chapters 1 through 5. Oh my goodness, chapters 1 through 5 is a lot. Good luck, Helen. Got my radiology registry in 4 days. Awesome, good luck, Joey. You got this. If I miss any questions, please feel free to put them in there. The answer is C. So these are the joints that allow free movement, like our shoulder. Answer choice A, syntherosis. These are immovable. Amphithyrosis, this is slightly movable. And then symphysis, that's a type of, for B. Slightly movable. All right, moving on to number 40. The shoulder joint is an example of what type of joint? What type of joint? What type of joint? Fantastic. It is B. It is a ball and socket joint. So the shoulder, it has a ball, it has a head from the humerus, and then it has a socket, which is the glenoid cavity. So ball and socket. So if you have our head, and then we have our cavity, which is what gives us a ball and socket joint. 41, what joint type allows rotation? What joint type allows rotation? But a hinge joint would be like your elbow that allows bending. Pivot joint is, well, I guess that, so a pivot joint allows for rotation. I was just like, oh, if I stop, it'll give it away. But this is like in your neck, so your head. So if you like sit there and you turn your head left and you turn your head right, that's rotation. That's where a pivot joint would be. And your saddle joint, this is like at your thumb. Number 42, synovial fluid functions to what? Number 42, Synovial fluid functions to what? The answer is C. It is to lubricate joints. So synovial fluid reduces friction. So we're going to reduce friction between the surface joints. Carrying nutrients, absorbing oxygen, building cartilage. Those are not functions of synovial fluid. 43. Which connective tissue covers the ends of bones at synovial joints? Just got my TMO joints replaced. Oh my goodness, Natalie. Fantastic. It is C. It is hyaline cartilage. So hyaline cartilage forms what we call smooth articular surfaces. Those are on bone ends. Number 44, what type of muscle is voluntary? Thank you for this. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys being here. I love doing these live streams. I'll be doing them every day, covering anatomy and physiology. We'll do pharmacology, pretty much what you guys really request. And I'll upload them to YouTube afterwards, so you guys can go back and watch them at your own pace. Hello, OG, how you doing? Hello, welcome in. The answer is A, it is skeletal. Skeletal is voluntary. That is under your conscious control. I am moving my pen because I am consciously thinking about doing it. So I'm on to number 45. The basic functional unit of a muscle fiber is what? The basic functional unit of a muscle fiber is what? Voluntary means that you consciously control it, like you think about doing it. Whenever you flex this, you're thinking about, you control that movement. And how long do I typically go live? It is between an hour and 2, so typically no shorter than an hour, no longer than 2 hours. The basic functional unit here is going to be a sarcomere. Sarcomeres are repeating contractile units of myofibrils that allow for our muscle to contract. Myofibril, that's made of sarcomeres, so it wouldn't be the smallest unit. So a functional unit is the smallest structure possible to basically function. So a sarcomere is the smallest unit possible that would allow for contraction. So every part of a sarcomere is what's going to allow for contraction. Sarcolemma is the muscle cell membrane, and a fascicle is a bundle of muscle fibers. 46, which protein binds to calcium to initiate the muscle contraction? Which protein binds to calcium to initiate the muscle contraction? Fantastic. The answer is D. It is troponin. So calcium binds to troponin. This moves tropomyosin off actin binding sites, allowing for myosin heads to attach onto actin, pull it towards the center of the sarcomere, and that is what muscle contraction is. 47. What stores calcium in muscle cells? What stores calcium in muscle cells? So where does the calcium come from? Well, then it goes and then binds to troponin. It is B. It is the sarcoplasmic reticulum. This is a specialized endoplasmic reticulum that stores and releases calcium as required for muscle contraction. Number 48, which muscle raises the shoulders? Which muscle raises the shoulders? These quizzes, I made them myself. They are available on YouTube afterwards. This particular one isn't on my website, but I do have other practice tests that I've made that are on my website for you guys. A link to that is in my bio. But I do live streams every day covering anatomy and physiology, and I will be posting them to YouTube afterwards. So you can go back and watch it at your own pace. But my name is Ollie. If you are new here, I have to do my little live stream. Make sure I'm live. Give me 1 second. So sorry. TikTok doesn't think I'm active, but I'm definitely active as I'm talking to you about being active. All right. 48. Which muscle raises the shoulder? The answer is C. It is the trapezius. The trapezius. So the trapezius muscle elevates the scapula. So elevates scapula. Raising the shoulder. The biceps brachii flexes the elbow. The deltoid abducts the arm. So this is going to abduct arm. The pectoralis major is going to flex and adduct the arm, so not raise the shoulder. The trapezius does that. All right. Number 49, muscles that assist the prime mover are called. I graduated years ago and somehow always stumble on these and get invested. Thank you, Rach. I appreciate it. Definitely going places in life. Awesome. How many questions are left? There's 60, so we have about 11 questions left. So we'll probably, I do have to get going, so we'll probably have to kind of power through these last couple ones here and then get going and stuff. But I will be available via email and DM afterwards as well if you guys have any more questions or any requests for any TikTok videos and whatnot. But number 49, the answer is B. It is a synergist. So synergists help the prime mover by adding a little bit of extra force, or if they don't add extra force, they do help stabilize a joint. Antagonists oppose. These are going to oppose. Fixator is what's going to stabilize the origin of the prime mover, and stabilizers are similar to fixators, but they're more general. 50. Muscle fatigue is primarily caused by. Muscle fatigue is primarily caused by what? Is C. It is lactic acid buildup. So lactic acid accumulates when oxygen is low, causing muscle fatigue. Oxygen increase would actually improve your muscle fatigue. So it would improve your muscular endurance. ATP surplus would prevent fatigue, and protein loss is not an immediate cause of fatigue. Over time, yes, but not immediate. 51. Which muscle type contains intercalated discs? And there's a reason for it. Awesome. We just hit 20,000 likes on the live. Thank you guys. That's incredible. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. So the answer is C, cardiac. Cardiac, so how it kind of works is if you have your nucleus, there are these kind of really thick bands here. Essentially, intercalated discs connect muscle tissues. And the reason for that is that it's going to have synchronized contraction. Some people might get it with being striated. So striated just means there's there's rhythm to it. But intercalated discs is for synchronization, meaning so muscular tissue is kind of always contracting at the same time. Hopefully that makes sense. 52, which neurotransmitter triggers muscle contraction? And has gap junctions? Yes. Fantastic. It is acetylcholine. So acetylcholine gets released at the motor neuron. Number 53, the basic unit of the nervous system is the... Thank you for all the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the likes, all the shares. You guys are awesome. I love doing these live streams. I really am just trying to help people review for anatomy and physiology and their HESI and TEAS and pretty much whatever other exam they're taking that has anatomy and physiology on it. But we'll be back for every day doing these. I love doing these. The answer is B. It is a neuron. The basic unit of the nervous system is the neuron. Neurons are nerve cells that transmit signals. Glial cells are support cells. They're not the basic functional unit. A dendrite and an axon are part of a neuron, which we'll go over here in just a moment. But number 54, which part of the neuron receives incoming signals? Got a piece of hair on there, sorry about that. Which part of the neuron receives incoming signals? Do I have TEAS study guides? I do have some practice exams. I'm working on a TEAS study guide coming out. It's close to coming out. What times? I typically go live around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If that does change, today we went live at noon, but typically you can expect it to be around 1 p.m. I need to study the HESI June 12. I need to say, awesome, good luck on your HESI, you got this. Again, HESI and TEAS study guides, that is actually coming out soon. I've been working on that. I've been working with some nursing students, trying to make one as comprehensive and detailed as possible without having too much fluff. I love anatomy and physiology, so I definitely am trying to make a version for that specifically as well. Number 54, the answer is C. It is a dendrite. If we have, let's draw a quick neuron. So our signal comes here, it gets received by our dendrites. We have our soma, which is our body, as our nucleus. This is going to integrate the signal. Then we have our axon here. This impulse is going to travel down out to the axon terminal, being sped up by the myelin sheath, off to another neuron or wherever else it needs to go. Let's move on. I'll leave that up there just for a moment. Number 55, the central nervous system consists of... before the 26th of June, before the 26th of June, Tia, is that what the question is? Should I take A&P during high school if I want to be a nurse? And even honestly, yeah, I definitely would take anatomy and physiology in high school, absolutely. I know high school is not as in-depth as it would be in college, but it would be a great way to get you exposed to the material, for sure. Yes, yeah, I am expecting it to be done before June 26th. Ideally, it should be done within the next, couple days here. The material's done. I am just working on the visuals now, trying to make that a little better. But at number 55, the answer is A. It is the brain and spinal cord. So central nervous system, or CNS, brain and spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system, then your nerves and ganglia. 56. Which neuroglial cells form the myelin sheath in the CNS? In the CNS. I take AMP1 for the first time this summer. Do I have a guide I can study before school starts? Yes. They're on my website. I always recommend people start with medical terminology. But I have a whole bundle guide. I have individual chapters. It's linked in my bio. '56. The answer is C. Oligodendrocytes. This is in the CNS, and then Schwann cells is in the PNS, or the peripheral nervous system.
Astrocytes support and nourish neurons. Microglia, those are the immune cells of the central nervous system. So oligodendrocytes form myelin in the CNS. Schwann cells form myelin in the PNS, peripheral nervous system. 57, the part of the brain responsible for balance and coordination is the what? I heard ANP1 was a little tougher than ANP2. Any truth to this? I think that kind of depends. ANP1 is a lot of memorization. It is just a lot of material. I think that's what makes it harder. I personally thought ANP2, and then ANP2 is more process-based. So ANP1, there are two different learning styles in my opinion. In ANP1, there's more memorization and less understanding. ANP2 is more understanding and less memorization. Obviously, there's both memorization and understanding in each, but it kind of depends on what learner you are. If you're better at memorizing, ANP1 is going to be easier for you. If you're better at understanding processes, ANP2 will be easier for you. I personally I'm very good at memorizing and understanding things as well. I personally thought ANP2 was easier. I thought ANP1 was just so much information. Do you have anything that can help with people? Not currently, but I'm working on one. These are ANP1 questions. Alrighty, and then the answer to number 57 is the cerebellum. Cerebellum controls our balance and coordination. The answer choice A, medulla oblongata, that's our autonomic functions. The cerebrum is our higher brain functions. The thalamus is like a sensory relay station for like information. Let's move on to 58. Which lobe of the brain is involved in decision making and problem solving? Decision making and problem solving. Microbiology, we're actually working on some too. I've been mostly focused on anatomy and physiology. But I do have notes from micro, and I was a kinesiology major, so I do have stuff for personal training. But I've been working on making. I want to tweak things a little bit. There are things that I would have done better that I would like to make better before they go out. In a sense. But the answer is B. It is frontal. So in our frontal lobe, that is going to control the execution of our decision-making functions, our problem-solving functions. In terms of the parietal lobe, this is going to be our sensory processing. Our temporal is going to be hearing plus memory. And our occipital is going to be our vision. All right. Last couple questions here. 59. What structure connects the two hemispheres of the brain? Yeah, thank you for responding. Yeah, no problem. I definitely do. I definitely try to acknowledge everybody, answer everybody's questions. Sometimes I read on my screen and I miss something, so if I do miss something, I promise I'm not ignoring you. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. I just miss it. If you have a question, feel free to repeat it. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the likes on the live. We're almost at like 30,000 likes. It's insane. I appreciate the follows and shares as well. You guys are insanely awesome. The answer is B. Corpus callosum. It is a thick band of nerve fibers that connects the hemispheres. The thalamus is like a relay station within your brain. The brainstem is going to be for like vital functions, and the hypothalamus, it's going to regulate some of those autonomic functions, more so for like temperature and hormonal control. Our pituitary is the master gland, but the hypothalamus is considered the master regulator. Number 60, the sympathetic nervous system is part of what? Are these questions for pharmacy technician? They would be helpful for pharmacy technician, yes. I was a pharmacy tech for 4.5 years. I am actually going to... I'm working on a pharmacy tech one as well. I've been getting all my notes together for that, just so they're a little more organized before I put them out. But we'll definitely be doing some pharm tech stuff. I was a pharm tech for 4.5 years. So I have a lot of stuff for that. I have a lot of information for that I definitely think is going to be helpful. These are the questions we got. Oh, awesome. Great review for any specialty. Yeah, this is pretty much good review for any specialty. It's more so particularly for, HESI TEAS, but again, it's great for any specialty. They're just more. They're more at the. When I say that, I say like kind of at that level, in a way. But number 60, real quick, last question here. The answer is D. It is the autonomic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is our fight or flight. The opposite of that, we have our parasympathetic. That is our rest and digest. Alright, and that was it. So tomorrow we'll be live at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for ANP2. Wednesday will be skeletal and joints. Thursday will be integumentary. Friday, we'll be doing pharmacology. I have not decided what kind of pharmacology yet, but it'll be pharmacology. And then Saturday and Sunday, the topics are TBD. I'm still taking requests for those. Again, you can find, so my YouTube, which you can find the replay of this to go back at your own pace if you joined a little late or anything like that. It's my YouTube. And then all my study guides and practice tests that are available, those are all linked in my bio on my website. This practice test is not up yet. It should be up with this YouTube video. It should be up later today or tomorrow. Kind of just depends on the processing time. They should all be at 1 o'clock, yes. Did I post these? Yep, they get posted to YouTube. Thank you so much. Yes, looking forward to the pharm content. I am too. I love doing pharmacology. The sympathetic, so the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, those are kind of in opposites of each other, in a way. Do I post these with the answers? Yes, so they get posted with the answers and an explanation. Came across your page, and so happy I did. Following on all platforms. Thank you so much for thanks for following. I really appreciate it. I really do. I love doing these, so I really appreciate any support, and I'm definitely here to keep. I know a lot of people have summer stuff coming up. Summer is very fast-paced and brutal, and I'm definitely here to make it easier for sure and make content to help out with that. Eastern time? Yes, Eastern Standard Time. CPT study guides? Not yet, but working at CST material. I'm not sure what CST would be for. What's CST for? Just follow on YouTube. Awesome. Yeah, no, thank you for being here. I appreciate it, guys. Certified. I don't have anything specifically for that. Right now, I pretty much just have anatomy and physiology stuff and some practice tests. But I'm working on kind of getting everything out for everybody. So personal training, pharmacy technician, everything it's on its way for sure. Followed you on YouTube. Awesome. Thank you. Got you new here. So getting a notification for the live, I believe you go to my profile, and then there should be a bell notification on my profile, and you can notify when I go live or when I post and things like that. But yeah, I've been mainly doing anatomy and physiology, and we've been slowly branching out to some of the other subjects. I can't wait. Awesome. I did some personal training. Personal training is definitely a very rewarding career for sure. Struggling with the TEAS, test study, what's the best way to accurately study? Honestly, breaking it down, you have your reading, your math, your science, your English, get a study material. I'm currently working on one. It should be out soon, but that's just for anatomy and physiology. I would definitely say I would try to practice every day, doing a little, focus on one thing per day. Basically breaking everything down, especially with anatomy and physiology. It's a very large chunk of science, so breaking it down into each system and their functions. Practice tests are a big thing too, to find out where you're weak at, where you're strong at. Don't just, reread your notes or reread textbooks. Actively test yourself as well. Simulate practice test or like testing conditions as well. Setting up leisure content. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Any just like quick questions here? I am going to get going. This was the end of the live stream, guys. But thank you guys for being here. We hit like 34,000 likes on the live, which is insane. You guys are awesome. I appreciate all the likes, all the shares, all the participation, all the follows. You guys are awesome. Just any quick questions here before I get going? Anything quick? Next live, 1 p.m. tomorrow. Going over ANP2. I'll go late. Oh no, it's okay. Yeah, we'll be tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This one will be uploaded later today or tomorrow morning. Alright. I'm gonna head out, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will hopefully see you all tomorrow or in another live stream. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate everything. Any more with AMP or YouTube? Yes, it's right here. My YouTube is right here. I have all the replays of the live stream and on my TikTok. They do chemistry. Also, yeah, I have a little bit of chemistry material as well. But I'll be posting anatomy and physiology lecture series on YouTube soon. But all right, everybody, have a great rest of your day. Hopefully to see you in a future live. Thanks, guys.